He loved her, not in the loud, dramatic way that makes headlines or turns heads at parties. Number. He loved her quietly, through glances when she wasn't looking, in smiles she never noticed, and in moments he stored away like fragile memories pressed into the pages of his heart. She was everything he wanted, but he never told her. Not because he didn't feel it deeply, but because he was scared. Scared of losing the friendship. Scared of hearing what he feared most, that she didn't feel the same. So he stayed silent until it was too late. And by the time he found the courage, she was already gone. Married, moved on, but not forgotten. Never forgotten. Some of the deepest heartbreaks are the ones we never speak of. This is one of them. Who is listening from where? Let me know in the comments. He met her on a warm September afternoon, the kind that holds on to the last strands of summer before letting go into fall. They were both freshmen in college, finding their way through the chaos of new beginnings, unfamiliar faces, and crowded lecture halls. She sat 2 rows ahead of him in their first psychology class, scribbling notes with a kind of energy he found contagious. He noticed the way she laughed, genuine and unfiltered, like music you never realized you missed until you heard it. Her name was Lily. They officially met during a group project. He introduced himself, Jason, and from that day they spoke almost every day. Study sessions turned into late-night conversations. Coffee breaks turned into weekend walks through the campus garden. She talked about her dreams of becoming a counselor. He talked about his passion for writing. Somewhere in between those moments, he fell for her. Not all at once, but piece by piece. He remembered the way she twirled her hair around her fingers when she was deep in thought, the way her eyes lit up when she spoke about helping others, how she always carried 2 granola bars, just in case someone else was hungry. She was kind without trying, funny without forcing it, beautiful in the way that made you want to be a better person. He wanted to tell her so many times, but every time he came close, he talked himself out of it. What if it ruins everything, he thought? What if she laughed? Or worse, what if she said she didn't feel the same, and things were never the same again? He couldn't bear the thought of losing her, so he stayed silent. Years passed. They graduated. Life happened. Jobs, new cities. But they stayed in touch. Texts here and there. Occasional video calls. Every time he saw her name on his phone, his heart raced. And every time he typed a message, he paused, wondering if this would be the moment he'd finally say it. It never was. Then came the wedding invitation. He stared at it for what felt like hours. Her smiling face next to a man he didn't know. The date, the venue, the words, "You're invited." His chest tightened. It was real now. She was really getting married. Jason went to the wedding, not because he wanted to, but because he couldn't imagine not going. He watched her walk down the aisle in a white dress, glowing, happy, and he knew, deep down, that she had no idea. No idea what she meant to him. No idea about the love he had carried all these years. And it was too late to tell her. At the reception, they talked, laughed, took a photo together. She hugged him and thanked him for coming. He smiled, told her she looked beautiful, and swallowed every word he wanted to say. That night, he went back to his hotel and cried. For the first time in years, he let it out. Not just the pain of losing her, but the regret of never trying. Months turned into years again. They drifted apart as people do. She moved across the country, started a family. He watched from a distance, liking the occasional post on social media, pretending he was fine. But the truth? He thought of her often, especially on quiet nights. When the world slowed down enough for his heart to speak, he tried dating, even fell in love again. But a part of him always compared them to her, and no one ever quite matched up. Not because they weren't good people, but because they weren't her. The version of her he held on to. The version of her he never gave a chance to know how deeply she was loved. Looking back, he didn't blame her. She had no idea. How could she? He had hidden it so well, smiled through the pain, laughed when it hurt, been her friend when he wanted so much more. It wasn't her fault. It was his silence that sealed his fate. Now in his 40s, Jason walks through life with a quiet ache. Not loud, not overwhelming, just there. like a familiar song playing faintly in the background. Sometimes he wonders what could have been. Other times, he just hopes she's happy, truly happy. And maybe that's what love really is, wanting someone to be happy, even if it's not with you. To anyone out there who's holding back their feelings, let this story be your sign. Say it, speak it. Don't wait for the right time. It may never come. And silence? It can be louder than any words you'll ever say, because sometimes the greatest I love you is the one never said, but by then it's only an echo. If this story touched your heart, give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to Fearless Motivation for more real emotional stories. And remember, who is listening from where? Drop your location in the comments. I'd love to know.